Welcome to Fireside Yankees. My name is Alex, my co-host here, Nick Nielsen, and today we're talking about a little nasty Nestor the God. Another masterclass performance from Nestor against the Tampa Bay Rays. Little Rays for dinner, nothing too bad, and he looked awesome. He looked awesome again. This guy is just on his horse, and I do want to also discuss Miguel Andujar and a couple other different topics here. Yankees showing some resiliency, shine Shane Green to a minor league deal. Old friend.
Matt Carpenter,
Detroit. Matt Carpenter, old man, stash, kind of looks like a pedophile, but
Daniel,
it's okay.
Looks like Daniel Day-Lewis from There Will Be Blood.
No, he looks like Mr. Thornberry out
okay,
here.
It's two completely different routes.
He
but
does
either way,
like
he impacted the game very nicely.
He got hit by a pitch.
And worked a walk and advanced the runners that both scored. Carpenter,
he did.
Because he got that one that was like taken away from him. He hit it like in the gap, and it was like a beautiful backhand by Harold.
He doesn't even wear batting gloves.
It.
Dude's out here raw dawing this bat, trying to freaking get on base, getting hit by baseballs.
I do
runners.
Who would have thought Matt Carpenter would be a Yankee in 2022? Like Ryan Garcia, Empire Sports Media Zone. He was clamoring for Joey Wendell. Joey Wendell, you are a Yankee. Lefty utility infielder. Can see a good amount of pitches. Good batted ball to contact rate, and he also doesn't use batting gloves. So instead, we said, "Now we're good."
That's true.
So we just bring in Matt Carpenter, who lefty utility infielder, doesn't use batting gloves, good batted ball profile, sees a ton of pitches. So we basically just said Joey's probably going to cost a lot. Let's just bring in Marp. I'm not worried about DJ's injury because people immediately were like, "Oh shit, who's hurt? Who's gone? Who just died? Why are we bringing in Matt Carpenter?" But it seems like it's just more of a depth signing. And then there's that rule, I believe, that now takes place at the end of June, where you go from 14 pitchers to 13 in June now. So I think that kind of impacted the way the Yankees were looking at things. And also, praise the Lords if it is to be true. Marwin Gonzalez may be DFA'd soon. I'm chopping at the bit for it, dude. I am so excited for that day. He is one of the worst baseball players I've ever seen with my eyes. He is. Ugh, God, it's just infuriating watching him take at bats.
But you're like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so funny now looking back, like even more so at how obvious it was that he was cheating that season compared to all his other years. It's not even funny. Like in the episode we did with Playoff Tanaka a while back, we deep dived into Marwin's stats a little bit, and his career high WRC plus was that year with Houston, and it's by like 22 points. Like, it's not even like, oh, like he just built it up. It's like, oh, this is such an outlier. And now he's just taking space on the bench. So hopefully we see JD come back here in a day, maybe today or tomorrow or whatever. Hopefully Gallo starts, getting his mojo back. And then Hicks is injured now. So it's just at this point where it's
it's
always
back
something,
soon.
Dude. Yeah, I know, but it's always something is the thing. And it's
let Hicks
when they're all healthy,
off.
Marwin's gone. Yeah, when they're all healthy, though, Marwin should be gone. That's the point of my
Yeah. No. I agree with you. I think Aaron Hicks, hamstring injury, supposed to be coming back today, tomorrow. Let him stay on the injured list a couple days. Keep him on there for 10 days. I don't care. Miguel Andujar should be getting his reps. And specifically, Aaron Judge should be playing center field. Joey Gallo, unfortunately, has to be playing right field in this scenario.
He's not bad in right, at least.
No, he's fine. But Andujar in left field, he's been fine. Defensively, looked decent yesterday. He's no errors in the AAA.
He already has
100 innings.
Defensive runs saved. He's got more defensive runs saved than Aaron Hicks does, and Joey Gallo in left field. I think that's very funny. He's played 2 games in left field, and he has 1 defensive run saved. They both have none. Outs above average, he's better than both of them as well. And it's like, guys, no offense, but when Miguel Andujar is outperforming you in defensive duties, you really, really need to figure your shit out. Like, it's okay when he's doing it offensively, because we've always known that Miggy's bat is lively and electric. He led the league in doubles in 2017 for rookies. Like, he was a monster. We called him Miggy Two Bags, a do double, whatever you wanted to say. He hit like 40 doubles that year, and now his defense,
he was 48,
like 48, yeah, something like that.
48 doubles. Let me see here.
Yeah, I was about to say, I got to pull this up now.
He hit 47 doubles and 97 singles and 3 triples and 27. I mean, the dude is actually a monster hitter. He just kind of lost his spot. I think what happened to him is that, like I said yesterday, baseball is a very mental game. It's a very
Mhm.
confidence-based game. And I think that offensively, he never lost a step. I think defensively, he was just degraded so badly. People hurt, like really, really harped on his defense and really went after him on social, really went after him in the yes spotlight and the national spotlight. Like,
Yeah,
I think that killed him. That honestly
he and
killed
Clint
his
Frazier were
confidence.
both were in the exact same boat there, where they were supposed
Yeah.
to be the guys that were the coming of the new guard for the Yankees. Same with Glaber, that baby bomber group, that second baby bomber group. And they were supposed to hold it down and fill positional needs for the foreseeable future to where the Yankees didn't have to look at getting other guys. And then unfortunately, things didn't work out. Andahar had a lot of injuries and stuff that kind of derailed him. And then he just struggled getting play time because of his defense. And Gio completely took over at third base because we had as you remember, RIP, Brandon Drury experiment where he played like 3 games, had vertigo, and then disappeared. And now he's actually pretty good for the Cincinnati Reds, all things considered. I guess it worked out for Brandon. I don't know. But he could have been a Yankee for life if he played his cards right. Anyway.
What is it with the Yankees and vertigo?
I don't know. I think we've had like 4 guys have vertigo in the past 4 years. Like, I'm not even joking.
What are we doing to these guys? What is in the water here? We have some of the best water in the world, man. What is going? No, New York City does. They get it from the Adirondack Mountains. Yeah, you didn't know this? Adirondack Mountains. They have pipes that they developed in the 50s, I think, that run all the way from the mountains into New York City, and some of the cleanest, most mineral-rich water, tap water you can get.
Well,
it's actually crazy.
That's why my sister always loves giving me tap water whenever I go over to her house.
Yeah, I mean, it's at first you're like, this is kind of nasty. I see a rat outside my window, but then you're like, oh wait, the tap water's pretty damn good, and like that's actually
a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's like there's a roach crawling up my wall, but there is good tap water.
There is good tap water. That's what you know you can rely on. And like I will say, like that's the thing with Andahar. Like it's kind of like he's like New York in a way. You know, for a long time his defense is awful. He doesn't really see a lot of pitches. But my God, does he hit the ball beautifully? Like his defense is that tap water, or his offense is that tap water offense.
Rat defense.
Now it looks like he could have tap water offense and tap water defense. Like dare I say, like
I wouldn't go that far.
It's very early.
Happy hour defense.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take the
happy hour like you're gonna get like happy hour. Most of the time is good, but occasionally you don't have a good happy hour. You go to a bad spot, or you go, or like what happens is like you go to happy hour and it ends at 7, and they put your drink in at 7:01, like a bunch of dickheads, and you're like,
just to ruin your night.
And you're like, I don't should have been half price. Should have been half price. You put it in at 7:01. We know you're playing games. He's like that happy hour defense, but
it looks like he's good. It looks like he's taking his opportunities though and running with him. That's what I like about this. Like Boone said, Miggy, this is your chance to make a name for yourself and to make a statement that I deserve to play and take at bats from these other guys that were regulars. Like, give me the at bats. And granted, he hasn't like slugged right now. He's batting .294 with a .294 OBP and a .294 slugging. So it's like he's not hitting the ball hard and he's not walking, but he's putting the ball in play, and he's keeping innings alive. And that's all I wanted out of Miggy. Like, granted, that pick yesterday where like the ball like bounced to Harold Ramirez and it hit him and 2 runs scored, that was just a bit, unfortunate for an error. But Miggy busting his ass out of the box and booking it to first made it so Walls had to rush the throw and make a bad throw. So it's the same thing that happened to the Carpenter play where we talked about a little bit a couple minutes ago, where it's like when he hit that ground out, it advanced both runners and then both those guys scored. That is what you want to see. You don't always need to see the result. You want to see a productive at-bat. And Miggy has put together a lot of productive at-bats so far. And his defense is better than the other 2 bozos we've been rolling out there. So it's like, okay, this is unexpected, very surprising, but very nice. Like Nestor yesterday had a very interesting start. And Miggy made a couple of decent plays in left field. Like, granted, Nestor got a lot of ground balls and infield pop-ups. It was actually a really, really weird game. And I'm kind of pissed because I bet Nestor Cortez over 7.5 Ks, and he only had 5. So here's me complaining about a 8-inning, 1-run, 5 strikeout start for Nestor. But to now have, I feel like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like whenever Hicks is in the outfield, pitchers on the mounds just do not feel comfortable. We saw it even a couple of times where it pans to the pitcher's reaction after a play and they're just like pissed off after an Aaron Hicks error or a misread or Joey Gallo off the glove bobble or a misread. Like, it's nice to, this is probably the dumbest thing I'll ever say on this channel, but it's nice to feel a little bit confident with Andujar in left field.
Yes. So, okay. Listen. Hear me out.
Historically awful, but this year, something's clicking.
Hear me out. Okay. People forget that we took Miguel Andujar and said, dude, you're shit at third base. We'll move you to first base. Never played first base before. Kind of shit at first base. Let's move you to left field. Move you to left field where the predominant amount of batters are righty. And now he's put in a left field spot with no experience, expecting to be a good outfielder out of nowhere. That is like telling someone this. That's like saying someone, you know what? You're not that good of a driver doing automatic. Let's put you in clutch. And you're like, what the hell? I don't know how to drive clutch. Like, that's what it's like. And the guy had no experience. People were expecting him to be an all-star outfielder day one. And it takes time. Now he has a couple hundred innings under his belt of playing in left field, and he's coming and he's not making as many mistakes because he's learned how to drive. He's
getting good jumps on the ball. Like
he's getting good jumps on the ball.
And the Marinaccio appearance against Baltimore on Wednesday, he had an incredible read on a ball that was down the left field line, and he made like a nice little lunging catch at it. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, now I know that seems like a very routine play, but the old Miguel Andujar would not get that baseball. Aaron Hicks probably wouldn't get that baseball. Joey Gallo right now probably wouldn't get that baseball. So to see like little things like that is huge. And again, like you said, he went from third to first to outfield. Two other guys that did that same jump that were lefty third baseman, Alex Gordon and Ryan Braun. Both of them went into the left field. Granted, Ryan Braun was not a great defender by any means, but Alex Gordon was literally only good for his defense. So I'm not saying Miguel Andujar is going to become one of these two like superstar players in different ways. Aaron Gordon, one of the best defensive players of all time. Ryan Braun, one of the best hitters of all time. So I don't know if Miguel Andujar is going to be one of those guys, but he can be serviceable enough to where he deserves at-bats and starts over Aaron Hicks and Joey Gallo when they're both healthy. Marwin, I'm not even factoring Marwin into next week's conversation of this team because JD's going to be back.
Here we go.
Stanton will be coming off the IL. I'm sorry. I can't ignore it. Marwin does not deserve us play. It's just
I was waiting for this.
It's like Peter from Family Guy. You know what really grinds my gears? Like, I will say, other than Rays fans thinking they're immortal, I mean, first of all, as my Twitter follower Ryan said, they're fucking frauds. We saw that yesterday. That was our quadruple A squad for the most part, and we beat them 7-2.
Quadruple A.
So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye. And that's who we're supposed to be afraid. That's who's going to win the AL East. Nestor just sliced and diced. Nestor made their
Nestor's on fire.
Nestor made Wander Franco look like he deserved to be in AAA.
Put him through the spin cycle.
Yeah, granted, Vidal Brujan in right field is a catastrophe, and Harold Ramirez at first base is also a catastrophe. So there's problems with the Rays. They made a lot of mistakes yesterday. But watching our quadruple A team against them, I still think that we're the far better team. Like, we didn't even have Donaldson, LeMahieu, Stanton, and we went up there and spanked them around. We didn't hit a home run. We hit like 8 singles. Like, it was the weirdest game I've ever seen. But we got it done. And that's not because of Marwin. It's because of guys like Andujar. It's because of Nestor shoving. It's because of the next guy up that steps up and knows that the Yankees' backs are against the wall right now and puts on a good performance. Carpenter has a 500 OBP and a 130 WRC plus. Okay. Sick. Thanks, Matt. That's all we needed from you. Like, we don't need Matt Carpenter to be a god. And I don't know why there are some Yankees fans that are like, Matt Carpenter is like 990 OPS in AAA is maintainable. It's not. It's AAA. Florio was a god in AAA, and he still can't hit anything on the outside half of the plate in the majors. But if Carpenter comes up and is like a 240, 245 hitter with his ability to see pitches and his plate appearances, he's going to be like a 130 WRC plus player. And that's way better than that bum Marwin.
Well, I do want to throw in something here about Carpenter, right? The last 2 years, he's been a sub 200 hitter, but he went on this cross-country trip, apparently, to go to all these big like hitting coaches and
Rosenthal wrote
about it. And performance labs. Yeah, Rosenthal wrote about it in The Athletic, and apparently he like rediscovered his swing. So we'll see how that works. We'll see if it looks better. I think personally, he's lost probably a ton of his power based on the fact he's 36 years old. Yeah. But we don't need him to be a power hitter. We need him to be a contact hitter, move guys on base, pick up walks, be that veteran experienced guy who could just take pitches and supplement some deficiencies. Like, he's your guy. He's your it sucks to say, but like, he is DJ LeMahieu's utility supplement.
Yep.
He's the second guy.
He's the backup.
He's the backup to DJ LeMahieu.
And as he should be.
Fine.
I feel
totally
much better about him than, once again, he's coming up, Marwin. Because, like, I don't know. It's like you look at the quality of at-bats, quality of the defensive plays. Granted, Marwin has made a few decent defensive plays, specifically at third base. But then he's also made a few really bad ones where it's like, what the hell? With Carpenter, I feel like he's not really going to get that opportunity to play 5 different positions. I feel like we only see Carpenter at first and second base. He cannot play third anymore. His arm's dead. That's for sure. And we will see him DH a lot. But if we have guys on the IL like we do right now, that's fine. That's okay. Because like having Carpenter DH in the 7-6 hole is okay to me. That's fine because we're not missing out on he's not hurting us anywhere else. He's going to see pitches. He worked, I think, 3 full counts yesterday. And that was his first game of Major League Baseball this season. So, okay. We'll take that. Like that's it'll only get better with time. Like you drill it in with like at bats and with reps, you will get better.
Yep.
Carpenter had the at bats and reps in AAA, and the Rangers didn't call him up, so he requested a release. He showed that he can still hit the baseball. He retooled his swing, and now the Yankees may be able to get the last bit of oomph out of him. And that's all I want. We don't need Carpenter. If we can get like 2013 Carpenter, where he hit like 21 home runs, but like had like a 399 OBP, awesome. We don't need him to hit home runs right now. We've got guys that can hit home runs. Miguel Andujar. Once he hits his first home run, the stadium's gonna erupt.
That's true, and he almost roped one a couple times, but like I'll tell you what, almost got it. What I will say about Matt Carpenter before we move on, just one more topic I want to discuss for a couple minutes. But Matt Carpenter, he is best not because of his hitting right now, but because he can be a good infielder wherever the Yankees need him. Like that's really what they just need, someone that's at least average. He can make the throws, make the plays. He has the experience in positioning. That's all we need right now. And if he can get on base, do some stuff, collect a couple hits, move some runners, take a couple hits, get hit by a couple pitches, that's totally fine.
Yeah, he took a hit. He took a pitch on the elbow.
Yeah, so he did his job and he did it.
No guard,
fine. Yeah, no guard. He did it fine, and that's fine. And like the last thing I want to discuss, and I want to just rattle off a couple Nestor Cortes stats because he deserves it. This year, the dude, I think he's like the first pitcher in history to have like a sub like 1.8 ERA over like
for the Yankees,
the first 50 for the Yankees for some crazy number like that. But he has a 1.70 ERA. He has a 2.99 xFIP. He has a 0.68 home runs per 9, so he's letting up a career low in home runs. He's letting up less than a home run per game per 9 innings, which is crazy. 86.6% left on base rate, 35.2% ground ball rate. He has 4 wins this season. I mean,
he's got 2 starts with over 10 Ks. He's got 2 games where he's gone into the 8th.
4.7% barrel rate, which is the lowest of his career.
That's people nuts.
Are not making.
No one's hitting.
People are not making good. Yeah, people can't hit him right now, and he's throwing his fastball. Let's see, 41.2% of the 41.7%. He's throwing his fastball at about 90 miles an hour, 91. His slider, bro, 10 mile an hour. He's throwing it 10 miles an hour slower than last year, and it's we've talked about this a couple days ago. The shift in velocity is keeping batters so on edge. They have no idea what pitch is coming because he's like throwing a cutter at 86, a fastball. His
cutter
91,
is so good, dude. I love it.
Slider at 77, and then he's throwing a changeup every now and again at 82, and it's just like, what the hell is going on? The velocity, the depth perception is all off. He has guys guessing and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It's really what Matt Blake has done with him is masterclass level stuff.
It's his best. It's his best example. It's his best
work
result.
of art. He's like a Picasso. 100%. He's like a Picasso, a Picasso piece of work. That's what Nestor Cortes is for Matt Blake right now.
He absolutely is, and he should be. Like Nestor is just. And everything about him, you just root for the guy. You can't not root for the guy. And seeing him do well, I still love the Twitter trolls that are like, Nestor's not that good. Yankees fans are overhyping him. It's like, guys, if Nestor played for any other team, it'd be like, why isn't this guy talked about as the best pitcher in baseball? The Yankees add the negative to it, yes, because sometimes we do overhype our guys. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't overhype Ron Marinaccio. I obviously do. But with Nestor, it's not overhyping when his results speak for themselves, and his results in like every single category are top 10 in baseball. So it's like, I don't know what more you need to see until you're convinced that Nestor is an elite number one pitcher in baseball. It's gotten to the point where like people use the small sample size argument against Shane McClanahan, where it's like, I need to see more from Shane. He's had 1.5 this season and last season, really, where he's pitching as a starter. I need to see more from him. And then they say Nestor's an ace. And then they do the opposite. It's like, guys, just say both are aces. Both have shown they're aces. And granted, they've had young, successful careers at this point. Nestor has only had this season and last as a successful portion of his career. They're putting everything out there that they've been working on, and the results are speaking for themselves. That's the thing. It's not like either guy's getting lucky. It's not like either guy has bad underlying peripherals. Nestor Cortes is striking out like 11 batters, 10 batters per 9 innings. He's gone into the 8th inning, I think, 3 times this season. He struck out 10 plus twice. Like Nestor, he hasn't had a start since last year where he's given up 4 runs. We can't say that about like any ace in baseball. Max Scherzer's given up 4 runs this year.
Garrett Cole is our number 2 right now.
Runs this year. Gave up
Garrett
5.
Cole is our number 2. He's our number 2 right now. Nestor Cortes is the Yankees ace right now.
Absolutely.
He is there. If I needed a pitcher in the biggest moment in the biggest game of this season,
do or die game,
eventually
Nestor
that will
Cortes
come.
on the mound.
Do or die game, Nestor is on the mound. And it's not, I'm not even thinking twice. I look, Garrett Cole's a monster. He's a beast.
Great pitcher.
But last year, he freaking shat the bed against Boston. This year, Nestor, he's been so good. You have to give him the ball.
Agreed.
Have to.
Absolutely.
And I think Garrett Cole would agree, personally.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, in the words of Max Kellerman, fate of the universe, where the death peeps pointed at you with the, you got one shot. I want Nestor Cortes. Like, the performances speak for themselves. Yesterday was not even his best stuff. He didn't get the strikeouts and the swings and misses like he usually does. And he was throwing more balls than he usually does as well. But it doesn't matter. He went 8 innings. And if not for Wandy's personal motives, he would have had another shutout. But that is what it is. We'll take it. Another big game today. JMO versus, I believe, Jeffrey Springs for the Rays. Let's take it again. Let's take another one. Punch him in the mouth. 2 quick ones. That way we can afford to split. Secure the split. That's all that is today. And I want to see Marinaccio pitch. I bet we see Marinaccio pitch. I bet we see Benuelos pitch as well. I'm willing to say we see JMO, Benuelos, Marinaccio, Holmes today.
Yeah, which, get some of these young guys some more action. That's what they're here for. They need the reps, and ultimately we have no choice. So there's that too.
Yeah,
but
kill a bee, dude. One of the kill a bees. I want to see him.
Yeah. We'll see it. And guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, breaking down a myriad of different topics, a lot of information, but I think a lot of really great stuff as well. We have some exciting players to talk about, but hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe below, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.